Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Caribbean Unspoken, a space for Caribbean culture, shared stories, and honest conversations. Here we honor where we come from while gently unpacking the experiences that shape us. And today I will be talking to Caribbean daughters. I know not all of us have the same experiences, and we come from various socioeconomic backgrounds and educational backgrounds. But I think the topic of dating as a Caribbean daughter is one that all of us can relate to in some sort of way. And some of us were shamed at young ages, like 15, 16, 17, even if you have a crush. It's like it was illegal. And then when you get to 28, 30, 35, it's one of those questions like, so when are you getting married? And when am I getting grandchildren? Or you're not getting any younger, what's going on? And it feels a little bit confusing because it's like at one point they totally discourage you from even getting near a guy. You talk to a guy too long and it's like, go pick up your book, don't make no man go and distract you, take in your education, and make sure you don't have to depend on no man for nothing. Okay, that's fine to an extent. Because when you get to 25 years old, even, and you're not in a serious relationship, a part of you as a woman, depending on the lifestyle you envision for yourself, i.e., a family, a husband, a home, or whatever it is, everyone has their own vision, right? You do start to worry a little bit because sometimes it's even a matter of you not even having the tools to date effectively and with a clear, level head. Your parents did not tell you what to look out for when it came to that point for you, because I think a lot of them probably just expected you to figure things out on your own. But if you don't hear it from starting from the home, you're out there in a gray area. And that is where a lot of people, they get taken advantage of. They enter in some bad abusive situations because they don't know what is tolerable and what isn't. Not saying people don't have common sense, but some people, they really just lack the skills. And it is a bit sad and a bit disheartening, because I do want better for our community and I do want certain conversations to be open and to not have so much haste around them, or hesitancy. Sorry, I used the wrong word. Any hesitance in having these conversations. Anyways, when you start to hear things like time is going and don't be too picky, it's like you have to remind them that marriage is not a light switch that you can just turn on at 30. I think it's important that if you feel behind, that you can start to carve out time to develop your communication skills, your discernment skills, and even a skill of being vulnerable. Because if you are seeking to be someone's serious partner into wife, you're going to have to learn to do away with some of the hyper independence that was instilled in us as Caribbean women, especially Black Caribbean women. I cannot speak for the Indo Caribbean experience or someone who is of mixed background. As I said, we all come from various Caribbean socioeconomic and educational backgrounds, so the experiences will vary. But, if you're younger, don't downplay your crushes, don't hide if you're heartbroken, and just say openly to your parents that you are learning how to date. It's not something to shy away from, it's a process. But they do need to understand that you do not just wake up with a husband and a family. It just doesn't work that way. You need to learn from yourself, learn from men, learn what you will tolerate and what you won't tolerate. And if the learning is delayed, just know that it's okay. You can start now. You're hearing this video for a reason. And don't hold any resentment towards your parents either, because a lot of them do have regrets. They might not admit it, but they do. And they're also able to evolve as human beings. So still exercise some grace. And if you are an adult who still feels like you lack some of the skills, the same way you're able to carve out time to do a course, you can create your own curriculum of things that you would like to develop as an adult so that you can date more effectively. As I said in my previous video about resting and scheduling time for rest, you can schedule time to soften some of the parts in your life or your personality that you know you've been hardened, and that will affect you and hinder you from dating effectively or having a relationship that allows you to be your truest feminine self, to be loving and to be nurturing, and even to be less rough in your speech and your tone, because I do find that many Caribbean women, because of having to face a lot of things on their own, a lot of life instances on their own, they've become hardened and become rough and tough. And that is not a description and depiction of all of us, but it is the reality for many of us. And we don't have to stay the same. We are malleable beings. And each day that we wake up, we have an opportunity to develop ourselves, to redevelop ourselves, and to change. So that brings me to the end of this video. I thank you all for being here. Please do not forget to share this video with someone you know needs to hear this. Save this video if you need to come back to it. And, listen to it on your ride to work, or if you're cleaning or whatever it is. It's not one of those videos where you have to watch the visuals. They're here, but you listen and you take heed, you take note, and you do the work. If you feel like sharing, let me know how dating in your younger years, or just dating while being a Caribbean daughter, was or is for you right now. I hope to hear from you, and I thank you all for being here. Bye.